Hello everyone, I am outside here. It's a beautiful day. It is the first day of the spring forward. Lose an hour of sleep or whatever. We sprung forward. Did you spring forward? Are you in the United States? Are we the only ones that do this? Spring forward, fall back kind of thing, where we change our time? I don't know. It's weird. We're so concerned about time always, but we can just say, okay, we will change time this year. Oh, yeah, we won't change time. Remember how they were not during the gas shortage? They were keeping it daylight savings time all the time. I guess so we wouldn't turn on our appliances and it'd be dark. We'd have to, use more energy. So with the energy crisis, people said that was a bunch of bull hockey, bull poo-poo. That it was all done by the Arabs. Who knows, Arabs? Do we even use that term anymore? Them dagburn Arabs, every time I turn around, my gas is going. Who knows? It's 1970s. What are you going to do? Don't forget to subscribe. Do that. But anyway, this video is a kind of a follow-up, a continuation, a combination, I guess, with the video I did earlier. I did a two-part series on delivering for GRUBHUB as a side hustle. Just GRUBHUB. I didn't do any other services. I took every single order there was, just like I used to do 8 years ago when I used to make about $225 on average for a 10-hour day. It would go up a little bit, it'd go down a little bit. That's why I said on average. And I said, can I do that again? And the answer was no, not that day at least. I didn't get any good orders. I didn't get a whole lot of bad orders. I did get some delays, because by taking everything, I went deep into Los Angeles. I had to go to the Men's County Jail, try and drop off food to a lady who was at home, not at the jail. She works at the jail, but she was at home. It was a Saturday. Did she give me extra money for my troubles? No. Did GRUBHUB give me extra money? Yeah, they gave me $1 extra. So the hour I took to do that made it not worthwhile at all. So she was asking me, this lady, I don't know her name. She asked me about how do you join these. There was a time where if I referred you, they would give me some money, and if you did a certain number of deliveries, you would get money as well. I'd get money. You'd have to have like 50 deliveries in the first month, which is easy. You do 2 a day or whatever you work. If you work 5 hours a day, give 4 or 5 a day, you'll easily hit 50. Then I would get money for referring you and having you be a good driver who actually makes some money. And then you'd also get money for hitting those 50, whatever the number might be. So when I first joined this, I knew no one else doing it. I didn't even know they had such a thing. I didn't know. I never even knew GRUBHUB existed. They were not in Pasadena. That's the territory that I work in. So I was looking for part-time work with flexible scheduling. Well, that came up on my search. Probably some guy with a YouTube channel was talking about that. Here's flexible scheduling. And he talked about YouTube. He talked about DoorDash and Postmates. There was no Uber Eats at that time. There are other services I've worked for that no longer exist. Caviar was a really good one. Caviar was the best, and they're gone. I figured they would be, because they were just too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, chance it is. But anyway, it wasn't too good to be true. It was just very, very good, and it was true, but it is no longer. So I just applied to all three. The first one that got back to me was GRUBHUB, and they said they were in the Los Angeles area and they're going to move into Pasadena. That's why they had openings, because they were going to create an entire different territory. They're going to hire 50 drivers for Pasadena. Now there's, 5,000, maybe more drivers from Pasadena. The territory is a little bit bigger, but a lot of people have joined 8 years ago. They don't work anymore, but they're still registered. They still, every year they send in their insurance paperwork, or the bird right there, or they send in their insurance paperwork. They send in their driver's license when it has to be renewed, and all that, which keeps them there. And maybe a lot of people out there maybe work 1 day a month just to stay, active, I guess. I know some people that work. One lady, she works Thursdays from 7 to 10. I think that's what she does. 7 to 10, I think is what she said she does. So they're not people necessarily working 40-hour weeks, or I was working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. I was working 60 hours with it when I first started. But she was asking me, well, how do you apply? I go, well, and I told her. So she applied, just like I did. She applied to GRUBHUB. She had Uber Eats too, but she went GrubHub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and of course GrubHub got to her first. I don't know what area she's in. She's not here. Could be in another state. I think we're only in the United States. So she's working for GrubHub now. And she said she's not doing that well. I said, well, that's probably true. It's not as good as it used to be. And what happened was these companies keep buying each other. And every time I come and buy someone, they get greedy. They, hey, wow, GrubHub is charging the customer this amount for delivery. What if I charge them $2 more? Can I get by with that? And they do. Well, where's the customer going to recoup those $2? They can take it from the tip. So let's give you an example. They order $30 worth of food. Uber charges them $8. And of that $8, the driver would get $4. But then Uber, let's say, starts charging $10. Well, where can they get their $2 back? Now they're giving $2. The problem is if you know people, if you don't tip, there's a chance your food's not going to get delivered. It's just too low. None of my friends that I know, people I know, we won't deliver the $2 orders, the $3 orders. Why would we? Why would we do that? It's not worth our time. We all have minimums. My minimum for me, if it's Uber, it's $7. It has to be at least $7 for delivery. Now, if you say $7 an hour, no, I could do 3 in an hour. It's 21 an hour, or I can make more than that. But I don't want to get that minimum. I want to get like $10 delivery, $15 delivery. GrubHub, it has to be $8. The reason for that is GrubHub just recently made it so a person can add money to their delivery after it's delivered. So if I go to the door and I just sit it down and I wave to the Ring camera, there's a chance I'll put more on. But if they come out and I talk to them, I talk about their dog. Well, I love that kind of dog. It's very smart. It's a snow dog. That's why the tail is up on your dog, because the tip of the tail would touch the snow and it'd hold it up. And over the years now, that dog has a tail that goes up this way. Same thing with like the Chihuahuas and all them. Hot, ow, my tail's hot. And we talk about dogs. That's a great dog. That's a smart dog. Boy, that dog's a naughty dog. This dog is very naughty. I love this dog. Your dog is beautiful. And we talk about dogs. We talk about the Cowboys and how wonderful they are. America's team, best team in football in the last 30 years. But we can talk about it, and then maybe they give me more money. But with GrubHub, they don't know they can add to the tip. They'll say, let me go to my wallet and give you a couple more dollars. And that's nice. They'll give me cash at the door. That's good. Into the pocket, the way it goes. So that's good. But with Uber, they always have the option of adding more to the tip. So I'll take a lower one. So $7 minimum for Uber, $8 for GrubHub. And I log on, log off. I log on to both when I first start. Boop, boop. Here's GrubHub, here's Uber. Get an order for Grub. Beep, beep. This is cowbells. Kung, 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 kung. More cowbells. That's the noise it makes. And I turn this app off. I do this order. When I finish this order, while I'm still at the customer's door, as I'm turning around, boop, I turn Uber back on. So now I'm back on. Boop, boop. And then I get one for Uber. Boop. I get Uber. Ooh, Uber, yay, yay, yay. So I turn GrubHub off. That way I don't get both at the same time. It could happen. Boop. You turn both on, and while you're figuring out if you want to take the GrubHub order, Uber might log in, chime in. Then I'll see which one is better, and then I'll reject this one and take this one, or reject this one and take that one. I never have both open at the same time. Some people do. They usually get in trouble. They deliver Uber food to a GrubHub customer or something like that. Then they complain, and then they start losing some of the better orders. But she was asking about that. So they did increase every time one of these companies is bought historically in the last 8 years. You think it's going to be better, they say it's going to be better, and it ends up being worse. So right now, GrubHub is doing that. GrubHub right now used to be the best, always the best. Everybody's like, oh man, you're so lucky you got to sign up with GrubHub. I tried, but they're not taking anybody else. They say, well, yeah, they got a ton of drivers. They're not taking one right now. They have to be, you can't just say, I'm a GrubHub driver, start taking GrubHub orders. You have to actually work for GrubHub. And it's, yeah, hopefully they'll be back soon if things go well. But now with GrubHub, we're starting to get these orders that are like $3, $6. And if I don't take anything less than $8, I know some people won't take anything less than $10. So what happens to that food? It sits at this restaurant, gets cold. Then the restaurant calls, hey, where's the GrubHub driver to pick up this food? Oh, we're still working on it. We'll get somebody out there. And then they put it back out there. They try to get somebody to take it. Now, some people will take everything because they're trying to maintain a really high level, but there are very, very few that will do that. So by the time that food gets to you, it's cold, or it doesn't get delivered at all. If you go back this way, if you look during COVID, you'll see there's a lot of things of undelivered food being thrown out into the night. But what sometimes the restaurants will do is they made that food, and it's going to go into the trash, and they're going to make no money because it never happened. They'll call the customers, hey, the GrubHub doesn't have a driver. They won't say you're a cheap, whatever, the B word. you're a cheap balloon head, you a cheap baloney fella, you will not be getting that delivered because they don't have a driver. If you'd like to come pick it up, I'll give you half off. So instead of making the money they're supposed to make, they're going to make half of that money. They get very peed off, and then they complain to GRUBHUB, and then they get mad. So I was telling her about that. That could happen. If the real low ones, they don't get delivered. And she said, well, what minimum should I have? I said, well, that's up to you. That's up to you. I said, one thing you want to be careful if you want to look at is, if you have a minimum, let's say I have a minimum of $8 for GRUBHUB. $8 for GRUBHUB. So I get this order, and it's $9.25. Well, that's $1.25 more than my minimum, but I want to make more than that. I want to make $20. If I can make $20 delivery, whew. But a really, really good day would be if I'm making like $12 to $15 a delivery and making 2 to 3 an hour. It's not bad. But I said to her, that'll happen sometimes. You'll get one $9.25, $10. I care my example. You have to look how far it is. Some of the applications don't tell you how far it is. So let's say you have a delivery to pick up at the pizza place, and you're going to drop it off at Johnny's house. So you guys find out how far is Johnny's house away. If it's going to take you an hour to deliver that $9.25, I would reject it because I don't want it to take longer than 15, 20 minutes total because I want to do 2 or 3 an hour. How can I do that if one delivery is going to take me an hour? That's if the food is ready when I'm there. If the food's not ready when I'm there, let's say I have to wait 20 minutes, I'm now at an hour and 20 minutes. And the amount of time there, I could have maybe taken 4 deliveries, in an hour and 20 minutes. So you got to be very, very careful. How far is it going? Okay, that's one thing. And I'll cover all this when I do this. I'll tell you at the end what I'm going to do. That's why I'm talking about this. Another thing that we have, it's called a stacked order or bundled order. You say, oh, wow, $25? That's a great delivery. And then you accept it for $25. Then you find it's 3 different deliveries on the same $25. And so take 25 divided by 3. Would you take that? Did that hit your $8 minimum? No. So you would not take that. So if I get one that's a double, if I look down and see it's a double, it's got to be at least probably like $17 or $18. If I can go to 2 different locations, So 16, maybe 17, 18, 20, 25, 30. I've had that before. I had one that's $46. It was 2 deliveries. One was $3 to tip, and the other one was like $28 tip, and then plus the travel, plus the weight, plus the delivery fee. I made like $44, $45 an hour. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about this, and I'll cover this as we go. So if you have any questions, write down there. Start putting your questions in there. David, I want to have a side hustle. I want to be cool like you. I want a side hustle too. And I'll tell you what to do. So David, you're cool. I want to have a side hustle too. And I'll tell you what to do on this. I won't tell you how to lose weight. I won't tell you take this supplement. But I can tell you if you're doing this, I'll tell you, I won't do that. So we can do that. I'm going to go back now. What I'm going to do, since I showed you the way it used to be, 10 hours a day, Pasadena starting point. I end up in LA that night. If you go back that way, maybe I'll put in here in the comment sections my 2 videos of the GRUBHUB debacle. It wasn't a debacle, but I made like $100 and something versus the $225 I should have made by my standards of not my standards, but as my averages of 8 years ago. So what I'll do is I'll show you that. But I'm going to go and I'm going to show you how I do it now. How do I do it now? Do I go to Pasadena? No. Where I live right now didn't even used to be in the Pasadena territory. It was in the Inland Empire territory. Now it's in Pasadena. It's in my territory. I can start from home. I don't usually start from home because if my wheels aren't moving, usually the algorithm will pick up that I'm sitting at home doing nothing. Well, with algorithms for YouTube, we have algorithms for GRUBHUB. So what I'll do is I'm going to show you how I do it now. What do I do now? Different than what I did back then 8 years ago. And I'll show you the schedule I'm going to work. What I do, I'll probably do that on Wednesday. Today is Monday. And I'll have this video out Tuesday. This will be out on Tuesday, plus a taste test will be out on Tuesday. So maybe I'll just call this, side hustling delivery. Is it good or something like that? It can be better, and it could be better. But with every time, what will happen eventually, I think what's going to happen is GRUBHUB will find out that the driver's not willing to take orders like this here. Now, you may have a low cost of living where you are. You may have low gas costs. You may not have to make the kind of money we need to make out here to live in sunny Southern California. Nothing wrong with Arkansas, but maybe you live in a trailer in the middle of somewhere in Arkansas by a river where you can fish and eat crawdads. I don't know what you do out there, but maybe it's cheaper where you are. Maybe gas is not, you know, $6 a gallon or $5 right now. Maybe eggs are not $12 a dozen. I don't know. But GRUBHUB will learn, because what's happening is now I delivered to I delivered Uber food to her, and she was my regular customer with GRUBHUB. She said she quit using GRUBHUB. It's the only way to use GRUBHUB. She'd have to take money from the driver. She's not gonna do that, so she goes and uses Uber. Some restaurants will you'll say GRUBHUB, Uber, Postmates, you know, something else, and I have like 3 or 4 different places that they take delivery drivers. Some places only will be an Uber. Some places are Uber exclusive. You'll see that Uber exclusive, DoorDash exclusive, and that's only. So if they mess up, then the restaurant says, hey, you know, I know we have an Uber exclusive, but all the franchisees will start complaining if it's a large place, and they'll say we want to get rid of GRUBHUB, boop boop, and let's get something else, and that could happen. And if GRUBHUB keeps messing up, it's gonna happen. They're gonna start losing restaurants. You know, it used to be when I first started, it was a couple of fast food places. We had Rubio's, we had Panda Express, and maybe one other. Then now we have Taco Bell, Del Taco, we have Burger King, McDonald's. All that we didn't used to deliver that. It's always restaurants where it'd be kind of like if you have a mom, a dad, and 2 kids, and you'd go out to a steakhouse, and you decide to stay home, especially during COVID. But you decide to stay home, you'd have that food delivered to you. Now it's fast food. It's one Subway sandwich and a bag of chips and a drink. So the tips would be very low, or not necessarily. Some tip pretty high. One guy I delivered to him. It's for him and his wife. It was a foot-long sandwich and a 6-inch sandwich. He joked that the foot-long sandwich was for her, and a 6-inch was. But you know, he's a big burly guy. I think that big old meatball sandwich for him, and the veggie delight might be for her. But they got a foot-long, a 6-inch, 2 bags of chips, and a like a Coke, 24-ounce Coke, and a bottle of Dasano water, I think it was, and he tipped me $25. That was what the money he gave me, so plus the money I got from the company and everything. It was like a $33 delivery, and just whoop. Those are usually the kind of money you get for your catering order. So I'm a catering driver for the 3 that I work on. I'm a catering driver. I do the catering, most of the catering ones. It's called Restaurants on the Run, which is part of GRUBHUB. It used to be LA Bite, but they bought LA Bite, changed the name, and that's what's going on. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, please subscribe, like, share, put your comments down below. Ask me questions. If you want to ask a question, hey, I'm thinking about working for this side hustle. Have you ever thought about doing this? Instacart contacts me from time to time to do that. There's we out here, I don't know about where you are, but we have some Asian companies that deliver food, and I think they only deliver to Asian restaurants. So probably a lot of the customers might be Asian. I know all the drivers are Asian. I'm allowed to say that. It's freedom of speech. They are Asian drivers. They may have some Caucasian, Black, Hispanic, something else, but I only see Asian drivers. It could be a language thing. It also could be a thing that we're in near Arcadia, California, which is like, I think, I don't know, 133% Asian. I'm not sure. So yeah, so we'll look at that. So we're going to redo the challenge, and I'll probably do it on Wednesday. So I have this on Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about that. So please, questions down there. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share. Are you thinking about doing some side hustling? Oh, another reason I was saying about side hustling. Let's say you're doing pretty good financially. You're doing okay, and you have a vacation coming up. Woohoo! And you paid for your plane tickets, and you paid for your hotel, and maybe even got a dining kind of a thing where you can save 25% on the restaurant in the hotel. You get 20% off because you're staying there. Who knows? You're very smart. Maybe you're going to rent an Uber. Maybe you're going to rent a car. Maybe you can just take an Uber to the hotel, and it's within walking distance of all kinds of fun stuff. Maybe you're right at the beach. I don't know. But what if you want some spending money, some folding money, some paper money, not just coins? And you might think, what if I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. What if I worked for GRUBHUB 7 to 9, 3 days a week, and 8 hours on Saturday, and I saved all that money? I'm 2 months out. I'm 3 months out. That could be hundreds of dollars. I don't know. Love to do that. I was going to tell you a little joke here. I don't know if you ever watch What's Happening. Hey, what's happening? Hey, what's happening? It was all these black people, and they were poor, and they lived in Watts or Compton. And there was a lady there. Her name was Shirley, and she worked at at the malt shop or the burger barn, and she got fired. Get out of here, Shirley! Disrespectful. And she gets canned, and she wants to get a job, and she needs a job real bad. So she asked Mrs. Thomas, that is the mother of the two, like the main characters, and she said, "Can you help me get a job as a maid? I want to work as a maid until something else comes along." And she said, she's a black lady. I don't know if she used any slang or, but she's like, "Hey, the only thing that comes along if you're a maid when you're cleaning houses is another dirty house." And that's true. You get kind of stuck in that. But a lot of people do this just part time, throw it on there, flexible scheduling. We're open. I'm not saying GRUBHUB, go join GRUBHUB, but GRUBHUB is open from, I think, like 6 in the morning till 2 in the morning. So they're just down for a couple hours. So you can work. They changed the laws here in California. Maybe it's nationwide. You can only work so many hours because drivers were working. They log in when it opened, and they would log out when it closed, and then back in. You know, they were working 20 hours a day. They're sleeping in the car when they didn't have delivery, but they were logged in for 20 hours. So if they have a car crash, and they might have slept 4 of the 16 hours they're working, but they had a car crash. The lawyer just said, "This guy's been working 16 hours and smashed his car into my client," and GRUBHUB would get sued. So they changed it. And they don't change it because they're nice, I don't think. But anyway, please. Boom, 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 boom. Comments. David, I'm trying to do a side hustle. I think you're right. I can save some money for my vacation. Or boy, they told me I'll be out of work for 2 weeks with my knee surgery. I think I'll stockpile some cash. Good idea. I don't know. Take care.